Let's walk through the process of creating foundational, always-on landing pages for your B2B paid programs. First, I want to level set on the B2B buying journey and the gap with B2B paid ads and landing pages. So, talking about the buyer's journey, first, we treat B2B like it's B2C. However, those are different, right? With B2B, there's far more risk. There are a lot more stakeholders, and it is very information and research heavy. So we use a lot of CRO tactics to get more volume, which could work, but volume isn't the name of the game because we could get a ton of low quality, low intent leads, but that's not what we're after. And I also see a gap where we just don't provide enough information or all the information that a buyer needs prior to contacting us or even selecting us for evaluation. So the philosophy is we need to aid buyers in that research and information gathering phase. We need to enable those champions to go sell us internally. And then we need to give them all the information they need in order to self-qualify. That's going to help take care of a lot of the quality issues if you just respect your buyers and tell them, hey, these are the people we're for and these are the people we're not for, right? You're saving everybody time. From the paid ads perspective, we see targeting that's way too broad. Everybody wants to sell to everybody. We see campaigns that are very messy. They're over-indexing on top of funnel campaigns like webinars, events, and white papers, which they have their place, but there's no foundations in place at the same time that are just always running. So our philosophy is to focus on tight targeting, start narrow, then go broad, focus on clean campaign structures so that you can just log in and understand what's going on, and then create those always on foundational programs. And you can layer on your tofu stuff on top of that. But this will ensure that you can go on vacation and your paid ads programs are still working for you. And then from a landing page standpoint, what we see is they treat it as an afterthought. They're only focused on conversions and driving that lead volume over quality. What we want to do is not give you 10,000 to manage. We want few manageable landing pages. We're going to have them have multiple purposes, like using them as a sandbox where you can test messaging, test experiences, and then take that and put it on your main website to drive that overall conversion rate up, overall hand raise account up, right? So now when your CEO is like, hey, we need to update the homepage, and you're like, well, we should really update it with this, and here's the data to back it up from our experiments that we ran with paid. So it gives you a data-backed argument to combat some of those stakeholder assignments that you get that may not make sense from a marketing standpoint. And then one of the biggest pieces is we're measuring conversions, yes, but we're also measuring consumption of these pages. Are your prospective customers consuming the information that you're putting out there? What is most important to them? We look at heat map data, session recordings, all of those things to understand how they're consuming that information and hopefully coming back to your site over and over again and then eventually reaching out to you. Okay, what you don't need, you definitely don't need more campaigns and landing pages. In fact, we're going to help you consolidate and create a core set. Marketing teams are lean right now. They're strapped for resources. The reason we don't go back and massage a lot of programs is because we're just managing way too much. You also do not need more budget or channels to add. In fact, we'll try to get you to spend less and just do more with what you already have, which I know is a trigger sentence right now, but I think this is going to make you the hero by not having to spend as much to get the same or better results, right? And then with your agency partners, which, I'm not trying to replace them or anything, but when I was in-house, it really bothered me when they had a percentage of spend model because it felt like my goals weren't aligned with their goals, right? They were incentivized to have me spend more money, but I didn't want to be punished for growth. So just some red flags and some things to watch out for and things that you just absolutely don't need. A little bit about me. I've been in B2B marketing for 15 years. I've managed a few digital marketing teams, over 400 websites, budgets of 10 million paid media. Been through the ringer. I've been both a buyer of software and a marketer, so seen both sides of the coin. I also like to evangelize a better way to do B2B marketing, and I've done so on a few podcasts, including Exit 5, Loop, Marketer Show. I urge you to go listen to these. I share a lot of tactical advice in each of them that you can implement today. The process to creating the landing pages are quite simple. Step one, I create a single workspace for us because we'll be doing a lot of asynchronous communication. You are doing way too much. I'm not trying to add more meetings to your plate. You can go here. This functions as like a private website. You can go in, you can see what we're doing, where we are in the process. Any shared documents back and forth will be stored here as well. And then all the deliverables in terms of wireframes and anything else will also be delivered in here. And then you have access to this even after engagement is over. So you can always reference back to the work that we've done together. Second step is now I send a kickoff email where I will ask you for documentation like ICP document, competitive battle cards, sales pitch deck, and maybe a couple other things that might be handy for me to create a buyer's journey canvas. And this buyer's journey canvas is really a way for me to get up to speed on your market, around your solution and your solution very quickly, so that my landing pages and the outputs can be, just like high quality and me not just shooting and hoping that I hit a target. So for the product information, I use the Fletch value prop methodology. You can go to their website, Fletch PMM. Product marketing consultants who are so great at the positioning exercise, and they do homepage messaging. I will not help you with positioning, but this is for me to understand your positioning and the capabilities of your product better. So if you need positioning help, please go to them. But this is me using their methodology to understand what your product does. I also, using those competitive battle cards, will create kind of the state of the market. If you didn't exist, where are they going? How are they solving the problems? And then instead of going head to head with your competitors, we're going to pull out these themes and patterns of what you do better than your competitors. And that actually feeds into one of the landing page frameworks. I also look at all your proof points. So yeah, sure, case studies, testimonials that you own, that you've went out and gathered on your own, but also looking at agnostic reviews on sites like G2, Capterra, Trust Radius, etc. Obviously, not all of those are always neutral. Sometimes they are incentivized, but making sure we're consolidating some of that, and that also powers one of the landing page frameworks. And then objections, FAQs, what are your salespeople hearing on these calls that are objections to buying the product. And then finally the ask, which is if you have like a free trial model or book a meeting, what can the prospect expect if they were to make that transaction or make, that exchange with you. We also run paid ads audits on your PPC and LinkedIn ads accounts. This is just to ensure that we are setting the landing pages up for success. You get actionable feedback and a methodology all wrapped in one. You can reference back to it at any point. Your team always has access to this. Same thing here. And then finally, we move into creating your wireframe set. Depending on your product mix or segment mix, it could be any number of landing pages, 5 at minimum and up. So for example, you might have 3 products, in which case I'd make 3 product wireframes for you along with the others. Primary offer product comparison is comparing you not just to other competitors in the market, but also to other approaches that they're taking. Like, are they doing it manually? Are they doing it using some non-competitive tools? Trust is just gathering all the reviews, agnostic sourced and owned in one place to create that like social proof story, pricing and demo. The best part about these landing pages is that they're always on. You never have to turn them off, and you're massaging them over time. So through distribution and testing and seeing what resonates, now you can take that information and you can put it on your main website to drive the overall conversion rate or hand raisers up. So you can see the primary offer one closely relates to the homepage, the product details to the product pages. Comparison is probably standalone. Many sites don't have this, but you can make an organic version of that, pricing and demo as well. Okay, about the frameworks, where I got them, it's obviously come from my experience in-house, heat map data, analytics data, self-reported attribution from different various ICPs at different companies I worked at. But I also wanted to make sure that it wasn't just my brains on this. So I did run them through veteran digital marketers and paid media peers in the space to make sure that I wasn't crazy and just making stuff up. There are some frameworks in practice. Here's an example. We're using Conveyor. And so I put the frameworks in context of your existing design. So I try not to give you too much developer work and that kind of stuff. I look at the blocks that you have on your site and I closely mimic that. I give you suggestions on assets if you don't already have them. And then in terms of some UI, UX, and experiences that work better for the user. And I give you the finished wireframes with copy, and then you implement it. And then step 4 is the distribution and testing. High level will tell you what campaign needs to send to what landing pages, what are the types of keywords. Same thing with the LinkedIn ads flow. As you can see, the process is very straightforward. We work in 90-day sprints. The first 30 days, we work on the paid ads audits and through the buyer's journey canvas, making sure that you're happy with our understanding of the product. The second 30 days, we work through the actual landing page wireframes. Depending on how many products or segments that you have, could determine the number of pages and wireframes that we're working on. And the final 30 days, which was a request for some of the clients, was to stay on for a couple of experiment cycles and make sure that they were doing it correctly, and then training the team so that eventually we can be obsolete and the teams can operate with a better understanding of how to utilize these landing pages. If you have any questions, I look forward to hearing from you. Let me know. Thanks. Bye.